Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video I'm going to be going over a pretty cool product that I found that aids in my Remington 1187 police trade-in short barrel shotgun with its cycling issues. I do have a standalone video going over this gun if you'd like to go check it out or if you haven't seen it already. But just to kind of go back to what the issues that I was having with this gun was that it would not cycle anything except for high breast loads, like the full power stuff, whether it be buckshot or slugs, which is fine. But you don't always want to use that when you are, or at least I don't. I don't always want to use that when I'm just going to the range and blasting targets, because it is a little bit more expensive. Not to mention the fact that, you know, if I do want to run anything, I want this gun to be reliable, you know, so whether it be with high brass stuff or at least at a bare minimum, some of the buckshot, cheaper buckshot that I have. And what I found was that even with the cheaper buckshot that I bought, three different kinds in particular. One of them being the Southern Ballat, which is, I know, a pretty popular low-price buckshot round. They also make some that are low recoil. And then also some Lambro. I can't remember. I think it's Lambro something, Guard or something like that. That's double-aught buck. And then I had the stuff... the only stuff that would cycle was the Spartan brand, which I can't find any more of anywhere. It would cycle this gun, but just for me. Like, my son tried to shoot it, and I don't know if it's the way he supports it against his shoulder or what, but it turned it pretty much into a single shot shotgun. But a little bit disappointed even with double-aught buck, which is supposed to be full power. From the cheaper brands, it wouldn't. Now, of course, everything I had from Remington, Federal, I was running some of this Hornady black in here. You know, that stuff would all run fine. And again, that's great because that's what I would use if I were to ever use this in any type of defense situation, would be with full power loads. And it absolutely would not cycle any of the cheap bulk pack stuff that you get from Walmart, you know, like birdshot, like 7.5 shot, stuff like that. So that was a little bit disappointing. But again, this is not my primary self-defense gun. Didn't really think much of it, but I wished it would cycle more. Now, I heard there's solutions that you can do, like opening the gas ports. And, you know, I've seen a couple of YouTube videos where people did that successfully. That wasn't really an option that I wanted to go with. Somebody on my, my video on this, my standalone video, had commented something about a weaker spring. I had never heard about that, but it actually got me thinking, and I started Googling some stuff a bit, and I did end up coming across the SureCycle system. So as you see from the package here, what it basically says is that it's a stainless steel high performance action system. Looks like here, at least on the verbiage that they have in the package, it's for allowing hidden corrosion that affects your shotgun. But that's not the only thing. So when you get this, and I can't show the installation because I know YouTube is sensitive about that stuff, but what you get is you get two different action springs, and they also give you a replacement carrier and then a follower. Anybody that's not familiar with the Remington 1187 or Remington 1100, there is a tube that comes back here and runs down in the stock, and it contains an action spring, and that's what allows this thing to cycle. When you take this apart, there is a T-nut. Once you remove the rubber butt pad, there's this, not a T-nut, but it's this weird screw on the back. It's like a screw, but it's like a cap. That's what holds the buttstock on. Once you remove that, you can see the tube that runs itself back. That contains a spring. The two different springs that come with this, they say one is to be used for low power loads and one of them is to be used for high power loads. Now, they do mention that the low power spring, while it will not damage the SureCycle system or your gun if you shoot magnum loads, they do recommend that you use the higher power spring, which is what I got here, for maximum performance. I don't know what that means or what that's for. I guess my only concern, and again, I'm no engineer, is that if you're using too light of a spring and then you start shooting full power loads on this, is that you would damage your gun. They say that it doesn't. I don't know. So I had never taken this gun apart fully, down to the point where you take the buttstock off, but it was definitely a very super easy installation. They do give you some paperwork or some instruction that tells you how to do it, but I wasn't familiar with the terminology on this, so I just looked up a couple of other YouTube videos, and you know, she basically showed how this broke down, and they talked about the nomenclature that the installation guide shows, and it made it really, really easy. Short of getting the nut off of the buttstock here, which was a little bit of a challenge because I think there's a specific tool that you need for it. Even the manual says just use a long flat screwdriver. You got to get a little bit creative with it, but it's nice that they give you a replacement nut that you can use a standard socket to wrench that down. So getting the old spring out, getting a new one in, again, super simple. I can't say that I noticed a huge difference in the action feel as I worked it by hand, but I was able to go to the range this morning and try that out. We'll say that, again, works for the 1187, also works for the Remington 1100. I do believe they also make some for the Benelli M1 Super 90. There may be some more, I'm not sure, but check out the website. Again, you can Google Sure Cycle Systems and go check out some of the other models that they have it here for. But as I mentioned, I was able to, after I got it back together last night, I was able to go hit the range this morning. I was pretty anxious to see how this was going to run, particularly with the 3 loads that I ran before. The Lambro that I had, again, single shot, wouldn't even begin to cycle the next round. And the Cellular and Balot, it was really weird. It would turn the shells backwards in the receiver and it would get it all jammed up. And then it wouldn't even begin the cycle the 7.5 bird shot. So those are the 3 that I brought with me out there. Did also want to try out the Salvo 12 suppressor in the 10-inch configuration. Have separate videos. Run it in full configuration. Again, down in the 8 configuration, at least I have a short that kind of shows that. Doesn't ever affect the cycling of the gun, or at least not that I've noticed. So I did just shoot it fully suppressed the entire time. Didn't even try it without the suppressor on here. I guess that's maybe something that I should do also. But let's go ahead and cut to the range footage. Hey everyone, so I'm back at the range this morning. Want to try out the Silencer Co. Salvo 12 in the 10-inch configuration, but mainly I do want to see how the Sure Cycle system is going to work for my Remington 1187. Brought a couple different rounds, pretty much everything that wouldn't cycle in it before, and curious to see how it's going to work out. So as you'll see here, I've got some of this Lambro Guard buckshot that wouldn't cycle in it. Some of the Winchester Universal target load, this cheap stuff from Walmart, that definitely wouldn't work. I got a little bit of mixed bag here, but mostly that Cellular and Balot. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with some of this Lambro. You're gonna notice that I don't have any earplugs in, because you don't really need it with the Silencer Co. Salvo 12. Let me rephrase. It's tolerable, though I am gonna put some in as we go, because it's nothing you should be doing sustained fire. All right, now I'm gonna try out some of the Cellular and Balot. Like I mentioned, this stuff was really funky, where it wouldn't eject, but it would turn the shell around backwards in the receiver and then get stuck. Whew. Cycled. A little bit of a weak ejection, but it worked. All right, so last up, I'm gonna try some of this cheap Winchester Universal 7.5 shot. If this stuff cycles, I'll be thrilled. Nice. Pretty successful test. All right, so as you can see from the range footage, everything cycled fine. Was really excited with that, really happy with the results. And you can tell from the shell ejection, it's nothing crazy. Some of them still just kind of lob out of there a little bit. Some of them shoot out a little bit more appropriate to what you would expect. I don't know for sure if my layman's mind says that that's not really beating the gun to death. It may not be, or maybe indicative, or maybe not, but it didn't feel like it was any heavier recoiling. Felt really good. I'm very glad that it was able to allow this gun to cycle everything. So anybody out there that has a Remington 1187, has a Remington 1100, that doesn't want to cycle anything but heavy loads, full power loads, magnum loads, etc., check out the Sure Cycle system. Available out there. It was pretty cheap. I want to say I ordered it from Midwest Gunworks and it was only like $56 or something like that. Super simple installation. Very happy with it. So hope this helped some of you guys out there. If you liked the video, please make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Definitely appreciate that. And even more so, share the video as much as you'd like. Definitely have been getting a lot of new viewers lately and subscribers. Thank you very much for that. So see you in the next one.